right now, looking at the finished product of the back deck. Previous videos, you watched me take this apart, 5200, clean up the seams, redo it. Right now, it is curing with epithane. Now, it looks good. We're gonna build it up with a bunch of layers. We don't want this looking shabby on the water. I like this boat a lot. This is one of my personal collection boats. It's a 1932 Chris Craft double cockpit. It's got a 5200 and a West epoxy bottom on it. It's a combination, and it's a great boat. It's actually someone I really appreciate, really enjoys this boat, and it's kind of their boat, not really mine. I just take care of it. Story of all of our lives. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, so I put 5200. There's some Sikaflex for the white seams, and then I sanded it down, and we put epithane on it, and it looks fantastic. You know, it's kind of like an uphill battle that I find specifically with runabouts. Is runabouts versus like cabin cruisers. The runabouts seem to have like the varnish will kind of lift off more than a cabin cruiser. I don't know if it's just the wood or how it is, or it just sees more sun. So you know what? Like one thing, it's kind of like the art and the labor of love with a wood boat. Is that when you see that yellowing and the varnish is lifting off of like a teak or off a varnish, go take your heat gun out, heat it up, strip it off, go get some nice 400 grit sandpaper, smooth it out, and just fix it. Because you know what? You could literally save yourself so much hassle if you just do that. Eventually you're gonna get to the point where you're just gonna sand it all down and redo it anyways, and spray it or brush it. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with this. It's pretty freaking good. And I was listening to sweet earphones, what I got off Amazon, Kiowa, and listening to some great music from the 90s. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with this generation, why they hate Nickelback so much. But I like to listen to some good music from like 2000, 1990s, thinking about growing up in Holland River, Ontario, at the marina, Holland River Marina as a kid, hearing Nickelback for the very first time, and you know, sitting on my dad's Cavalier on ADOC, and thought my world was like on fire in a good way. Anyways, we're gonna talk about the boat behind me. So on previous episodes, we had that whole side area cut off and taken out because it was rotted. The back bulkhead wall where the doorway was actually, it was severely rotted. And so we had to replace the whole back wall. Now it's done. And right now we're just kind of building it up with varnish coats. We had to fix the roof area because the roof area had a little bit of structural rot, because when someone did the restoration on this boat, this window right here should have been a 2-pane window, I'm pretty sure. And they switched it to a 1-pane window, which wasn't bad, but it kind of, because like the technology back then with my favorite product, 5200 by 3M, glue rocks in a field, walk away for 50 years, come back, and the rocks might be, you know, deteriorated, but the 5200 will keep those rocks glued together. The water kind of got behind the bulkhead wall of the brightwork and kind of festered behind. And inside where the bulkhead wall, along the inside, it actually had kind of discolored. And you know, going back to what we talked about with epoxies and resins, people trying to like inject it in there with like a cattle syringe because they just think that this is gonna get around it. Same thing, you gotta cut it out, gotta replace it. But not necessarily that it was like that, just was dry rot, you know, sitting back there. And we took it apart. One of the other issues that I found was, I know why someone did it, but I undid it. was the back wall. They cut windows in it. I just probably to bring in more natural light. I left the one window side because it wasn't rotted, but the one side close to the bulkhead was kind of all rotted and starting to crack and split. So a combination of dry rot and wet rot. And there was kind of like a funky rot smell just in that one corner of the boat. Now that it's been replaced, the inside of the boat, the smell is actually really good. So I don't really actually worry about the rot smell. But yeah, overall, like it's coming pretty good. I had one of, we had a follower ask some questions about it. They like said that they had the same problem on one of their boats that they have in Tacoma, Washington. And someone had kind of packed in, you know, body filler for like Bondo brand into like the bright work, painted the boat white. And he said that he noticed that it was Bondo a couple of years after because he lost his boathouse, and he said that it went outside, and he said that like with the fluctuation of temperature in Washington, cold, warm, that Bondo from the wood separated, and he said that like it's like a big chunk came out. And he asked me what I would do, and I said to him, do the right thing, cut it out, like I do. Sometimes, yeah, you'll be cutting and you'll be like, what am I doing? Oh gosh, like this is not where I want to be when Jesus comes back. Sometimes you just gotta like commit to it. So like my client who owns this boat, he's definitely a very serious Chris crafter. Wanted it done right, cut it out. Because you know what, it's a great, beautiful boat. You know, I don't think there's probably many of these left. Maybe in Washington, maybe there's quite a few, maybe there's like maybe 10 left, but I know where I grew up in Southern Ontario, there's none left. All the wood boats are gone, it's sad, you know what I mean? Besides these like little tiny runabout boats, like all the cruisers are gone. So for me, it kind of like really gets me like really going really good. That like, to see these old classics, and honestly, I'm looking forward to running it in the water with my client. I'd say like in 3 months, you'll see a sweet video with an aerial drone, this bad boy going in the water. We're trying to right now source a carburetor for the 283. So, because it's got twin 283s in there, it doesn't have the Hercules motors. And you know what? The person who did it, they did an okay job with putting the motors in. And the gauges, I don't know if they're gonna work with the new motors. We're gonna see, because I haven't got to we haven't done really much with motors. But I'm looking forward to seeing it go back in the water and having the family down who originally owned the boat. So other than that, that's kind of where I'm at for the boats. If you guys have any questions, post it. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. We're on Instagram and YouTube. We have a bunch of sweet merch, sweet hats and stuff like that. And talking about these earphones, all the audio that I just did right now came from that. So that shows you how good these are, okay? Anyways, my name is Tyler. I'm from Killarney Lake Boatworks in beautiful Manitoba. Like, share, subscribe.